Now yesterday, unless you were falling under a social media rock, you would have seen it was International Women's Day. I'm actually on the way to the gym now because we're going to do an event for women to talk about weight training and the benefits of everything that we do. I'm not one, if you've watched any of my videos, to signal his virtue by talking about women being an oppressed class. Women have it harder than men for some things, and men have it harder than women for other things. I'll give you one quick thing. The gender pay gap is the biggest load of horse shit you've ever heard. Up until the age of 30, women are now on average getting paid more than men. After 30 it changes. Why does it change after 30? Two reasons. One is the obvious, babies and families. But the second one that's kind of linked to that, but not automatically so, is that after the age of 30, if you really want to make the money and you really want to crank up your career, you've got to kind of keep kicking it up a notch. And kicking it up a notch does not lead to a balanced life. Women, as a general rule, and this is my interpretation of it, are more balanced than men. Men are more obsessive. Men prefer things, women prefer people. This is how I think we call it neuroplasticity of the brain. This is how things are wired from our neurotransmitters and the hormones that come through to us, even when we're kind of in the embryonic or fetal stage, before we're born. So I don't buy all this. I hate this toxic masculinity stuff because, of course, there's such a thing as toxic masculinity. Of course, men. Men give dickheads a drink and they're drunk dickheads and they're going to touch women and they're going to do all these things. This is inexcusable. But there's also such a thing as toxic femininity that never gets talked about. And I kind of don't like all that. It sits badly with me because I don't like creating victims. You don't empower anybody by creating a victim. You empower people by, we're equal but different. Anyhow, little rant over. There is a gender gap though when it comes to weight training. When it comes to personal training, there's a when it comes to, again, quote unquote, serious personal training, there's a massive gender gap. If you look at the more serious weight training courses, within personal training, you might have 20 people there and lucky to find one woman. When we get job applications, I don't know what our ratio of job applications at UP is. It's definitely 9 guys to 1 girl. Easy. Do I see that as a problem? Well, whereas there are certain professions that are male dominated or female dominated for loads of reasons, and I don't necessarily see that as a problem, I definitely think the personal training industry would benefit from more women not being pushed forward. I don't like this concept of being pushed, but from more women understanding that it is a serious career option for them, and understanding that they can make a difference. I will generally tell you that women in general, again I'm generalizing here, there are outliers always in everything. Women in general are worse as personal trainers on the gym floor because there's too much of a reluctance with some, not necessarily with the ones who work for me, but with some, to be dominant. You have to dominate your client. You have to be the boss on the gym floor. You can't be too empathetic on the gym floor. However, that flips around off the gym floor for helping people stick to a diet, for instance, in some cases. Empathy is a very powerful tool if married with discipline and honesty, real honesty. Not bullshit honesty, real honesty, where you tell people the truth. It's a great tool for personal training. And so very often women have a big advantage over men when it comes to when it comes to getting results, because getting results are all about the diet. And then of course, if you look at the breakdown of the gender breakdown of clients, over the years, what I've seen, we've gone now. Some of it's going to be location specific, like working in the City of London, where there's going to be more men than women, more men making big money than women for sure. We've gone from probably having 70-30 male to female to now across the business we have a couple of sites where we have more female clients than male clients, and it's definitely flipped round 50-50. And I'm going to do a video on this later about how important it is that we educate the general public into continuing to appreciate that the Tracy Anderson £5 and you bulk up bullshit is abysmal advice, and that all of us are best served by doing some form of weight training. And there's loads of challenges around that, and there's gender challenges around that as well that I would like to discuss at some point. But the point here is about personal trainers and personal training and women. We're probably looking at, let's call it a 50-50 male to female client gap. Now, if you're taking your average trainer, let's say 25-year-old male, and a 25-year-old male has only just learned a little bit about life and knows nothing, not a lot about women, and you contrast that with a 25-year-old female, I think women mature faster than men. They often tend to, women are just not as disrupted by testosterone. Yeah, simple as that, really. Women are not as likely to be Vaynerchucked and think they can take over the world by reading a couple of Instagram memes. So you've got these female clients who often need to share. We want to get inside your head as personal trainers. It's critically important. We want to get inside your head. We want to understand what makes you tick. We need to know about your life in order to best support you in most circumstances. And whilst I've seen a plethora of 25-year-old male trainers do amazing work with their, let's say, middle-aged female clients, as a general rule, I'm going to say that a female trainer is going to have an advantage over a male trainer in these circumstances, just as a male trainer in a lot of cases is going to have certain advantages over a female trainer, because a man is going to be able to just get that male banter going a little bit better. A woman is going to be able to relate better to a woman. And a lot of women are going to feel far, I'll give you one example. Exercising around menstruation. A lot of women are going to feel uncomfortable talking to their male trainers about just the practicalities of that, for example. I understand that. A woman is going to be able to address that. There's a lot of things that a female trainer can do with her clients that are harder, not impossible, but harder for a man to do. And it would be great if we as an industry could attract serious female trainers. Is it happening? Yes, it is. I believe it is. Is it happening fast enough? No. Why is it not happening fast enough? Well, again, it's that we take our pool of talent from the general public, like everybody says, or like all pools of talent derive, and the general public is still, there's a couple of things. Weight training is controlled aggression, which is obviously going to be a little bit more masculine. Weight training done properly, in my opinion, is quite a solo pursuit. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, I'm certainly not a big fan of all the group exercise businesses by any stretch of the imagination. Group exercise attracts females more than, say, one-to-one personal training often does, because it's more convivial, it's more social. It's been one of the great things that CrossFit did by creating a tribe. What we need more of this. We need more of the right information. We need more examples. Look at some of the bikini competitors now. Maybe some of the bikini competitors, especially when they're competing, are maybe now their standards. They have to be a little bit too muscular for a lot of women, and they have to be a little bit too lean. But generally speaking, the bikini competitors look absolutely amazing, and a lot of the general public would love to aspire to look like that. And this is what we need to push more. I would love to see more of the sane and balanced bikini competitors, because not all of them are sane and balanced. Get far bigger public profiles, far bigger, way bigger public profiles. Again, if done appropriately and done healthily, I think it would be magic for the business. It would benefit my business. Oh, look at me, I'm glowing. And it would be magic for the business as a whole. It would be great for somebody like me because it would give me access to better trainers. It would be great for the public because it would give them access to a wider variety of trainers who are maybe going to be more suited to their needs in some cases. And it would just benefit women in general. So this would be great if we could do this. And it's the kind of thing that I could really, really get behind. When you see this video, why don't you tell me, what do you think is the thing that's holding women back? You might go, oh, Nick Mitchell has expressed misogynistic views. It's people like you, a supposed just leader, who holds women back. If you think that's the case, let me know. If you think it's not down to me, and you think it's there's another reason why we're not seeing enough women, I'm very curious as to see what you think the reason might be. And again, it's the kind of thing that, you know, I can get behind, I can address, and I have enough contact, enough pull with certain places that I can potentially help alleviate that as a problem and help publicise it. And it's something that I'll be very supportive of because I think it would be great for all of us. Thank you.